Today on Aqua Kids.
Come join the Aqua Kids as they venture into the woods and see what they discover hidden beneath some rocks.
Aqua Kids, doing what we have to do. Saving our earth, land, air, and sea. All we gotta do is keep it green and blue. For me and you. Aqua Kids.
The Aqua Kids and I traveled to Gambrel State Park in the mountains of Frederick, Maryland. There, we were to meet with Adam Frederick, Assistant Director for Education with the Maryland Sea Grant. Adam's field of research is amphibians, like salamanders. He agreed to take us into the forest to look for salamanders and teach us what makes them an indicator species. Okay guys, let's talk about what we're going to do today.
You know, Hannah, I've hiked here in Gambrel State Park in Maryland before.
It's beautiful here. There's so many things you can do in the outdoors.
And to enjoy parks like this, it's important we protect them.
It is important to protect them. Mountain parks like this are home to many animals and plants, which all play an important part in our ecosystem. So today, we're going to talk about salamanders. Let's get started.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, how's everybody doing after that hike?
We're doing well. We made it.
Excellent. So what do you think of this spot right here?
What is it? It's gorgeous.
This is a spring that starts right up there on the hillside where we came down and goes all the way down here and ends up forming a stream probably a mile down toward the bottom.
I guess there's a lot of wildlife then. What can we see here?
Well, the main thing that we're after today is looking at salamanders. And if we're lucky, we'll find 7 or 8 different species right in this spot right here.
7 or 8 right in this spot?
Yeah.
That's a lot of salamanders.
Why are there so many species in one spot?
That's a really good question. If you look at the water here, it's very clear. And I'll show you some things up close that make it that way. And water coming out of the mountain, it's been filtered. So it's gone through the ground, it's gone its way down into an underwater river, basically. It comes out of the ground, but it comes out and it's very well filtered. And the bottom here, when we look at it up close, will show you another reason why it's so clean.
So this ecosystem has a natural filter.
Yes, all the trees in the forest you see around you and the ground that you're standing on help filter this water right here and keep it clean.
Who knew?
So how would you like to see something that makes this a real unique environment for salamanders?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's check it out. This looks like a good spot to show you what I was talking about. Okay, so a closer look at the bottom of this spring shows us some really interesting characteristics here. So if you look at this, what do you think that resembles?
Rocks.
Right, rocks and what else? The sand, right. So put a little bit of that in your hand. Just take some of that and put it in your hand and kind of rub it around with your palms a little bit. How does that feel?
Grainy.
Yeah, gritty.
Okay, so sandy?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a really important feature here. So if I take my hand and I stick it back in the water, it'll probably just come right off. All right? So it's sandy and that creates a lot of space, and the water has lots of space, and there's a lot of oxygen in the water then when there's more space versus being all clogged up with mud and sediment and silt and things like that. So where do you think some of this sand might end up farther downstream?
A river or a stream?
Okay, anywhere else? The bay, good. That's, you know, a little bit closer to where we're getting to, but it might make its way all the way to the ocean and the beach. So if you pick up some of this, this is really the beginning of the beach.
The mountain to the beach? That's a really long way.
Yeah, it seems like a long way, but for something as small as this, for the amount of time that it takes, it's really not that far. And there's something else that's important about this. And what else do you suppose is carried in this sand and water all the way to the ocean?
Organisms?
That's possible.
Seeds?
Yeah. Seeds, yeah.
Nutrients?
Another good one. Nutrients, that's very good. How about salt?
Salt?
Yeah, salt. And even if we tried to measure it here, it'd be really, really tiny amounts, but it makes its way all the way to the ocean and helps keep the amount of ocean salt constant.
So this is a really important stream.
Yeah, not only for this stream and this spring here, but for rivers and the bay and the ocean too.
Well, then why aren't salamanders found in the bay or the ocean?
Well, the salt concentration down there gets too high, but up here it's very, very little, almost undetectable, and so they love this environment.
So they need a little, but not too much.
That's correct. A little bit erodes out of the rocks over a long period of time.
Okay, so what have we learned so far?
Streams are important, all the way down to the ocean.
Salt and sand come from mountain streams.
That's why what we do in our state parks is so important for the environment.
The hunt for salamanders starts when we come back.
Now it's time for Aqua Quiz with your host, Drew Cruz.
I'm your host, Drew Cruz, and now it's time to test your knowledge with Aqua Quiz. Salamanders are known as an indicator species. An indicator species can signal a change in the biological condition of a particular ecosystem, and thus may be used to diagnose the health of that ecosystem. So what factors are considered in determining which are an indicator species? Is it A, the presence of a species, B, the absence of a species, C, the abundance of a species, or D, all of the above? We'll have the answer after the break.
Aqua Kids will be right back.
You would not believe these salamanders. They're like lizards, but slimy. Oh, I gotta go. Welcome back. Have you decided which factors determine if an organism is considered an indicator species? The answer is D, all of the above. The presence, absence, and abundance of a particular organism are three key factors that are evaluated in order to monitor the health of a particular ecosystem. And that's an indicator that I forgot to turn off my phone. Okay, so I'll see you next week with another Aqua Kids. Don't you know I'm busy?
Welcome back to Aqua Kids.
Now we're all getting ready to see some salamanders, but I want to see where it all starts, and that's with an egg. So I'm on the case. Get it? Egg case? Oh, I'm all over this. Hey, Adam.
Drew,
How you doing?
what are you doing here?
I'm here to check out the salamander egg cases.
Oh, well, you came to the right place.
So I know you're going to be showing us the salamanders later, but for me it's about the beginning, and that lies with the egg cases. So would you tell us about this special place?
Sure, this is what we call a vernal pool. It's formed by winter snowmelt and springtime rain. And when spring comes, salamanders come to this pool and they start to mate and lay those egg cases that you're looking for. And one special salamander is called the spotted salamander.
What's so special about this place here?
Well, there's only a few in the Frederick Municipal Forest that I know of that I've been coming to for years just to observe what happens. And all the activity happens within just a few days during the spring, and then it's all over until the following year.
So we're all equipped with our GoPros. We're
Yeah.
gonna try to see some egg cases.
Yeah, come this way, they're right over here.
What's that little ball of snot in the water there?
That's the egg case.
You're kidding me.
No,
Wow, that's cool.
we'll have to get a good up-close shot of these.
Here, can I pick it up?
Yeah, you should probably wet your hands first.
Yeah,
Let me hold your camera.
sure thing. Wow. Look at that. So each individual pod here is a salamander?
That's correct. And if you notice, there's a greenish tint
Yeah.
in the egg case. That's an algae that lives with the salamander.
Wow.
That was only too recently discovered. But the first observation of that goes back to 1888.
So what's so special about the algae?
That's a good question. If you notice, these egg cases are pretty thick. All that gelatin on the outside and that big whitish one down there, you can see how thick that one
Yeah.
is. So it makes it hard for the salamander to get oxygen. And if they can't get oxygen, it'll make them really, really difficult to develop, like this one that just fell out of the egg case.
Sure.
So by having that relationship, the algae makes oxygen for the salamander, and at the same time, the salamander gives the algae a little bit of waste, and you get this nice happy relationship,
Wow.
which we call symbiosis.
Symbiosis,
So
yeah.
I need to put this one right back in the water right now.
All right. So this substance is very strong and it keeps everything out, but how does this symbiotic relationship start? How does the algae get in there?
That's a good question. So one of the observations that was made over the last few years by some scientists is that the algae actually comes up out of the sediment and swims into the egg when it's developing. And that relationship starts to form then. And they've actually found the algae inside the salamander's body, not just in the egg case. So they're really connected. Much like some people think of things like sea anemones and clownfish, how they're connected, that relationship.
And the bacteria in our own stomachs.
Exactly. So those are good examples of symbiosis. So this one is really new in terms of research. It's only about 3 or 4 years old.
So how big can these salamanders get in their adult form?
When I come out and look for them in the springtime here at the pool, they're anywhere from 7 to 11 inches in length.
Wow.
So they're pretty good size.
Is that as big as they can get from the wild?
The spotted salamander, yeah, that's as big as they get.
How about in the world?
In the world, the biggest is the Japanese, or there's one in Asia, and I think it's Japan, is probably 5 feet in length.
5 feet?
Yeah. The only thing we have close to that in Maryland and some other places in the US is an endangered species called the hellbender, and it's about 2 feet long.
Man, are these guys endangered at all?
No, they're in good shape. They're up and down the East Coast, have a big range, and as long as these environments are here, they'll be fine.
Is there anything we can do to protect these environments here?
Yeah, make people aware that they're here and they're not just some big puddle, that there's a lot of life in them. And I think that that's the kind of thing we've covered today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially at night too, you've been telling me.
Yeah, nighttime is the best up here.
Aqua Kids will be right back. Welcome back to Aqua Kids, and thanks for joining us again, Drew. You're off doing a little research of your own.
Well, it turns out the egg does come before the salamander.
True.
Adam has been on the hunt for salamanders, so let's go see what he's found. Hey Adam, have you found anything yet?
Fortunately, yes.
Can we see it?
Yeah, right underneath small rocks like this one, you'll find salamanders that look like this.
Oh my goodness.
What a cutie.
Now this is called a two-line salamander. You can see 2 dark lines down its back.
Is that an adult salamander or a baby one?
Oh, it's probably about medium size, maybe halfway grown, but they don't get very big anyway.
What are their natural predators?
In this spring right here, the main predator is probably crayfish.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they endangered in any way?
No, this is a very common type out here, so they're not endangered, but their habitat is endangered, so.
What are the threats to the habitat?
Well, things like development and sediment from runoff, okay? Those are probably 2 of the most common ones that affect areas like this where the water quality has to be very high.
Do they live in the water or out of the water?
That's a good question. These live in the water, like many of them around here, because they are lungless salamanders.
Lungless salamander? How do they breathe?
They breathe right through their skin.
Wow.
So that's why it's important for them to be in water that has a lot of oxygen in it, like this water.
So they can't breathe the air through their skin?
But they have to do it through the water, otherwise their skin will dry out.
So how long can they stay out of the water?
If I keep it wet, it's probably okay, but you'd probably rather be under the water where it's nice and cold.
What do these guys eat?
They eat small aquatic insects, so which there are many underneath these rocks, as you'll see if you look closely, and maybe small earthworms, things like that, but they don't have a very big mouth.
They have big eyes though.
Yes, yes. What do you think that's for?
Seeing in the dark?
So they like nocturnal environments. They like to be in the dark. So nighttime activity is usually the high point for salamanders.
How do we find them, and what do we do if we find one?
That's a good question. So the best thing to do is to walk on an area here that does not have rocks. So carefully creep around. And if you find one, make sure your hands are wet and try to scoop them up. Don't grab them because their skin is very, very soft and delicate. So you want to try to scoop underneath them and bring them up.
Because essentially their skin is their lung.
Exactly, yeah. So we want to try to stay away from handling them or grabbing them. Just kind of keep them in your hand.
Oils on your hand can affect them.
So we've rubbed our hands pretty good with that sand before, so our hands should be nice and clean.
I think it's time to look for some salamanders.
I've got one here.
Oh, looks like I found one.
Oh, let me get over there and look.
This looks like a different species, like a dusky.
Here, little salamanders.
Looking for some salamanders.
I got a baby.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a baby spring salamander. And you can see the flat tail right here. which means it's really good for swimming. Maybe he's about a month old.
Wow.
How quickly do they mature?
Oh, a few months right before fall. And then this species will get about 7 or 8 inches long. It'll be very pinkish, purplish color when they're an adult. Nice. We need to put him back.
Okay.
I think I got something under this rock.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, we
Oh, look at that.
Look at him.
Oh, that's a really nice crayfish. Let's turn him over a little bit. Look at his nice blue color. Mm-hmm.
He's not too happy, is he?
No, but I'm sure he's happy eating some salamanders out here, though. Like that little one.
He's a top predator.
Yeah. There's no fish in here, so these guys are free to eat as much as they want, those small salamanders.
Oh, hi. I'm so glad you're here. You know, it always excites me to meet young people who love to protect the earth as much as I do. Young people who are pioneering powerful ways to conserve and protect our planet for all of us. I call them eco-defenders. Let's find out what they're up to.
The Sacramento-San Joaquin River Delta is the largest set of waterways on the west coast of the Americas. When freshwater rivers meet saltwater in the ocean, it actually creates fertile ground for all of these different types of biodiverse species to exist. Because these waterways are just as equally affected by the drought, this has become a super valuable resource. The allowing of these waterways to be degraded and destroyed is just like, almost in a sense, like California's contribution to the 6th mass extinction. To see all of these species and their system, like these things just shatter, is an indicator of where we might go if we don't think about how our ecosystems are connected. I started doing community organizing in Stockton because of all the different societal dysfunctions and the state of chaos in the city, and trying to do something positive for the community. And it was that point that I really started learning about Restore the Delta, which is this organization in Stockton, and learned about the work that was being done to protect these waterways. To think about that, it like really made me super juiced about trying to do a creative placemaking project that really unearths the value of these waterways. Spending the summer here at the Beehive, volunteering as a coordinator, and kind of seeing the way that the collective operated and how they used graphics to tell these really intricate stories, I really tried to understand how I could use the same energy and the same like creative way of storytelling into what was going on with water in California. Connecting the relevance of like what's happening in one region, how it like can parallel or connect to what's going on in another. So the Suck Dry tour happened mid-October to early November, and we traveled to like 18 different California cities and spoke to about 1,000 people about what was going on in California, specifically regarding water politics, and water rights as well. The concrete outcomes of that tour was not only creating like new dialogues surrounding understanding across these issues, really trying to like dive deep into like why privatization and drought are very interrelated. So the project in a sense is aiming and hoping to uplift the identity of the Delta to be something in which people can respect, appreciate, and steward, not only for ourselves but for future generations and for the ecosystems that depend on it.
Wasn't that amazing? Okay, now it's your turn. If you or someone you know is doing something remarkable to help our planet, let us know about it, and you could be our next eco-defender. I gotta go. Want to keep up with our adventures? Follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Aqua Kids will be right back.
Hi, Drew here. Join the Aqua Kids next week as we reveal the key to effective management and protection of fish populations.
I'm Jalen, and this is Earth Edition. Since 1970, scientists discovered that amphibians such as frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders are trying to tell us something. The message is that their decline in numbers around the world is letting us know that it's time to address pollution, increase in human population, and ozone depletion. You see, amphibians are known as indicator species, which gives scientists insight into the health of ecosystems around the world. They are an important part of the life cycles of many other animal and plant species. So if there are fewer amphibians in an area over time, there will also be fewer animals and plants, and that isn't good for humans. I'm Jalen, and this has been Earth Edition.
Welcome back to Aqua Kids. Thanks so much for a great day, Adam. We've learned so much.
I did. I really enjoyed myself too. I have one more thing that I'd like you to know before we leave though. Have you ever heard of an indicator species before?
No, what's that?
Well, salamanders are a good indicator of good water quality. So they make a really good indicator species for an environment like this.
So if we see a lot of salamanders, we know the water's clean.
Exactly, like we did today.
What can we do at home to help keep this water clean?
Well, you can do simple things like recycle and watch your water consumption, and you can let other people know what to do.
Okay, Aqua Kids, what did we learn today?
Just like the salamanders in the vernal pool, these salamanders lay eggs too.
Salamanders are nocturnal, which means they can see at night.
These salamanders don't have lungs. Instead, they breathe through their skin.
Remember, it's up to you to keep it green and blue. Help protect our environment, and we'll see you next time on Aqua Kids.
Bye!
Aqua Kids, doing what we have to do. Saving our earth, land, air, and sea. All we gotta do is keep it green and blue.